Alright, motherfuckers, the top 3 questions I got asked on the Appalachian Trail were: what camera are you shooting with? How do you edit your videos? And where do you get your music at? So, in today's video, I am going to attempt to explain what I did on the fucking trail. Now, little disclaimer, I am not a tech guy. I had very limited experience with iMovie before I hit the AT, and I learned all this shit on the fucking fly. I started off the trail with a Sony RX100 Mark V point shoot camera with the flip up screen, which was key, and that was why I bought it. And the other reason I bought it is it has some of the best auto focusing on any point shoot camera that is on the market today. Unfortunately, this thing shit the bed. Somewhere before Damascus, Virginia, it got wet with all the fucking rain we had, and it broke. It wouldn't work anymore. So I did have insurance on this one. I sent it back to Best Buy to get fixed, as that one was getting repaired. I bought a new one. This is actually not a Mark V, but a Mark III. Still puts up the same video quality as the Mark V. So it was fine and a little bit cheaper. This thing got wet due to condensation. I ended up putting it in a Ziploc bag when it was raining one day, because I'm like, okay, I can't get this thing fucking wet now. I put it in a Ziploc bag when the camera was warm, condensation built up, this thing shit the bed. I said, fuck it, I'm buying another one. I was gung-ho about filming with this fucking camera. So I ended up buying a third Sony RX100, the original one, at a discount. But when I got that fucker in the mail, I realized it didn't have a flip-up screen like these two do. I used it for mainly photography, but a little bit of filming, but I didn't really use that at all. So I got this one back finally, and the Mark V, and it just didn't work right again after that. Now I did carry one more camera other than the RX100s, and that was a GoPro Hero 5 I started out with, and I had originally intended on using that thing in the rain. Unfortunately, I got a hitch into a newfound gap in Gatlinburg, and as I was getting in the woman's car, I left my GoPro and tripod on the tailgate of her truck, and we pulled off into Gatlinburg, and that thing fell off her tailgate, and I never saw it again. Started filming with my iPhone. I had the 7 Plus originally. That thing stopped charging after a while. One of the prongs got fucked up, and I had to replace it in Pauling, New York with the iPhone 8 Plus, which I filmed with. I'm filming on now. I filmed with that the rest of the fucking hike. When I was filming with my Sonys, I burned through a shit ton of SD cards. I burned through three 128 gig cards and 2 64 gigabyte cards. Now the 128 gig cards are 90 bucks a piece. I burned through 3 of them. Now to charge all this shit, I did carry some spare Sony batteries. The batteries in these Sony cameras suck. They're tiny batteries, and I was lucky if I got a day's worth of footage. Usually I didn't get a full day out of a battery. Usually I went through at least 1.5 batteries, sometimes 2 a day. I carried 4 batteries, 1 in the camera and 3 spares. And charge on the fucking trail, I carried 2 battery banks by Anchor. This here is a 13,000 milliamp, and this here is a 10.5, I think. I think I only had to use all this juice one time. I think it was a 5-day stretch, resupply stretch. And I filmed a lot that 5-day stretch, and I ended up burning through all these and almost ran out of battery juice towards the end. But obviously I had all the fucking cords. I had 2 USB mini USB cables. These Sony cameras you can plug right in and plug them into the power banks to charge them on trail. To plug them in, when I got to town, I had an Anchor 4-plug charger. I don't know if this is a quick charge. It says yeah, I think this is a quick charge, but I don't know if it was quick charge or not. It still took fucking forever. I'm glad I bought it. This thing is heavy too, but I was able to plug in all my devices at one time. And then obviously I carried an iPhone cord to plug in my iPhone and my iPad, which I'll get to in a minute. Now, to transfer footage, I originally started with an Apple SD card reader, thinking I could just plug in an SD card into this fucking thing, put it into my iPad, and transfer the footage. No, it didn't work out that way. I found out real quick that the codec that these Sony RX100s use is XAVCS, I think it's called, which I don't know what the fuck that means. All I know is it's their HD footage that Sony uses. It doesn't play well with Apple products, of course, so I couldn't transfer that HD footage onto my iPad. What I had to do was buy one of these fucking things, which was like $40 fucking, this little goddamn piece of plastic. And this is an Apple card reader is what it is. So a camera reader. Take this fucker, plug in an USB cable into this fucker, right? And plug the USB cable into my phone at night, plug this fucker into my iPad. And that's how I was able to transfer that HD footage from the Sony camera onto my iPad to make it so I could edit. And that transfer process took a very long time sometimes. Sometimes I would take 70 to 120 clips every single day. And just to transfer that footage onto my iPad sometimes took 45 minutes to an hour. So I was sitting there waiting for footage to be transferred before I could fucking edit it. It was a long fucking day, man. Hiking 20 goddamn miles and then transferring footage on this fucking thing and then editing a video. I started filming my iPhone, which I'm filming on now, and that is the iPhone 8 Plus. The transferring process was a hell of a lot easier. Having an iPad to edit on, I could just airdrop all the fucking footage, put it on this thing. It was a hell of a lot easier to transfer the footage and edit at night. It made my life a hell of a lot easier. I dropped this fucking thing in 2 creeks and pulled it out of the water. Worked fine. The microphone on it got waterlogged a couple times when I was hiking through major downpours in Maine and shit. But for the most part, the iPhone worked fine. Now to edit, you guys ask me all the fucking time, what software do you use to edit? I use LumaFusion on my iPad. Okay, this is actually an iPad I just got. My old one, it was the 2017 version. This is the 2018. The 2017 version, it got spiderwebbed the fuck out. By the end of the fucking trail, I had a window about that fucking big I could edit on because I kept this thing in the water bladder pocket of my pack, right up against my back, which probably wasn't a smart idea, even though I've got a case on this thing. All it took was one fucking crack and that thing just spiderwebbed and spiderwebbed and spiderwebbed. Now, it did last the whole fucking trail, but by the end of it, it was a real pain in the ass to edit. LumaFusion is an app. I think it's free, don't quote me on that. I have it on my iPhone as well, but it's a hell of a lot easier to edit on this, is why I carried it. It's basically like iMovie. It's just a better version of iMovie, I would describe it as. You can do a few more things. There's more like variety as far as titles and things to put in the video. You can do a few more things with LumaFusion. Another reason I use Dropbox or LumaFusion is for Dropbox. Getting into the music side of things, another question I get asked a lot is where do I get my music from? Epidemic Sound is the site. It's a subscription-based site. I pay $15 a month for it, but it's all copyright-free music. And as many of you know, when we put out content on YouTube, YouTube does not fucking around with copyright laws, so you cannot put in Britney Spears Toxic. That shit will be pulled fucking immediately. Epidemic Sound, it's like 30,000 songs. You pay $15 a month. You don't have to worry about copyright laws, and there's some pretty good fucking songs in there. You gotta search for them. But what I did before the trail is I searched endlessly for music. I listened to a shit ton of songs. I ended up downloading probably 120 songs before I hit the trail, and I put them all into a Dropbox account. Getting back to LumaFusion, LumaFusion allows you to link a Dropbox account. So what I did was I took all that music from Epidemic Sound, put it on a Dropbox, and when you pull up the LumaFusion app, there's a little tab that says Dropbox. You click on it, import from Dropbox. I can import all those fucking songs I downloaded previously and drag and drop them into my timeline. So it made it a hell of a lot easier. It made it pretty easy towards the end. And I also appreciate the comments I got on the music. Well, you know, a lot of you guys said the music matched the day, and that's what I did. I would edit the clips first, right? I get all the clips edited together, and then depending on what the mood was for that day is when I added the music. Some people edit video to music, some people do it vice versa. I edit the video first, and then depending on what the vibe of the day was is how I picked my music for the day. So as far as all those walking away shots and shit like that, when I was filming with my Sony X100s, right, I have a mini Manfrotto tripod, which I'm filming on now. I can't show you. They're a hell of a lot better than GorillaPods in my opinion. You can't wrap them around trees and shit, but I didn't find myself wanting to do that anyway, really. And when I was shooting my RX100, I would just set that up on the side of the trail, walk past it, pick it up. I could keep it right in the chest strap of my chest strap of my pack had this little loop. I would stick my camera right down in there, and it was right there in front of my chest. I could just pull it out, set it down, and use it as a selfie stick too. Now towards the end, like I said, I was filming with my iPhone. I didn't have one of those clips that you attach a phone to a tripod. So to get those walking away shots, all I did was set my camera on the ground against a rock or a tree, or I take my Gatorade bottle out of the chest strap of my pack, put that on the ground, set my camera against the Gatorade bottle, and walk past the camera. That's all I did. It made it really fucking easy. So that's how I did those walking away shots. You don't think about it when you're watching videos like that, but what goes into making those videos, it's a hell of a fucking process. I would probably do those walking away shots sometimes 20 times a day, and it was a lot of extra walking for me. Even though I didn't go way off trail to put the camera down, it was still taking away, you know, and adding miles to my hike if you add them up towards the end. I know that's a lot of fucking information. If you guys have any specific questions, go ahead and hit me up on Instagram or YouTube, and I'll try to answer them specifically. And hopefully inspired some of you fuckers to get out and edit and make videos. If you're not doing a through hike, film your fucking day hikes and your weekend trips. That's what I fucking did before I hit the trail. I love making videos, man. Yeah, obviously I'm going to vlog again for next year. Now, my camera gear is going to change. I will do all video on that before I hit the PCT. But on the photography side of things, for those of you that follow me on Instagram know I love taking pictures. I fell in love with photography on the fucking trail. It's something I was never into when I was younger. But being out in the wilderness for 6 months at a time, you learn to appreciate Mother Nature beyond fucking belief. And I took a million fucking pictures. Over 3,000 photos I took on the AT. The camera I'm looking at for next year is a mirrorless camera, which keeps the weight down compared to a DSLR. Sony makes really good mirrorless cameras. The A7 III is the one I'm looking at. It's a full frame entry level mirrorless camera. It weighs about 1.5 pounds. If I can get that and maybe one good wide angle zoom lens, I think I'll be golden for next year. It'll keep it to around 3 pounds or so. I'll be happy with that. Now that Sony A7 III takes really good video too. Whether or not I film video on that thing, I don't know yet. I have to get it first and dick around with it. Which I wanted to ask you guys for some help on that because this shit is not cheap and I have a Thru hike to save for. So I did open up a GoFundMe account. I'll link it down below. All the money I raised from that GoFundMe account is going directly into getting me new camera gear for next year. So I don't have to fuck with saving for a Thru hike and camera gear on top of that because this is all going to go back to you guys as well. This isn't just for me. This is so I can put out some kick-ass fucking content through YouTube because I'm going to be doing this for a very fucking long time. I just love doing this shit. So, and hopefully it shows through in my fucking videos. I want next year's PCT videos are going to be even better. I want them to be even better. I'm tired of fucking talking. Roscoe P. Waggletails is licking his ass over there. Like I said, if you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram. I'll be glad to answer them. But until then, until I get all the new camera gear, we'll do a video on that. We'll holler at you motherfuckers later, man.